Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Trelina from CZT Eni Oken. All right, so this one starts off with an orb in the center of wherever you're wanting to place this. Now, in Eni's Step Out, losing my words already, only not even a minute into the video. It's going to be a great day. She fills in that center orb like on step 2. I wait to the end because usually I end up, it gets a little messy sometimes around there, and I like to kind of wait to the end. This is me personally, but I just wanted to point that out to you. She also kind of adds the shine in there, which is a really, really nice touch. And so you can see that on there, and it's fantastic. All right, this one then, so once you have your orb, and you can kind of play with the size. I'm keeping it small because this is a small 2x2 bijou tile. And I will admit, this one has given me some trouble, but I think I worked out some things, and then when I go back and look at my, some of the finals, I'm like, okay, all right, that's good. All right, so from your orb, this is sort of a takeoff and land concept. So I'm going to, take off from here and making a little bit of a curved line with, and actually, I'm going to make more of a hook on there. And we're going to do that in each direction. And sometimes what I like to do, well, we can always, if you don't get the hook part right at the at that tip there, I'll show you how I was compensating for it. Sometimes what I like to do, oh gosh, that one's a bit long, is, go opposite and then opposite. It kind of works good. And this should be a little bit curved. I have trouble making it. This one turned out all right, but in any case, it's all right, whatever curve you get. But if you get a little bit of a curve in there, it's kind of nice. Then, and it doesn't matter where you start, we're going to aura this, going along this line here. And in the step outs, and I pretty much copied, or followed, I should say, the method that Eni put, except I think I might have kind of put her 4 and 5 into one, just because. Anyway, so we're going to aura this, and we're going to continue up, sort of into the corner. What I found is I'm going to start at this tip here, and we're going to work our way down this line. And of course, as you play with it, you'll see how much. Well, I'm just going to make it go like that. You'll see, and you'll experiment. I ended up with these ends just kind of going more in a row, and I didn't like that. And the next step, or when you look at the final product, you kind of want this kind of tucked, as if it's tucked and folded in behind the other section. And so I found doing it this way was very helpful. And let's see. So I think we're in the step outs, we kind of have this is set as one, and then it's just continuing. And so in this, like I said, I've had my challenges with this, but you're continuing to aura, and you can also kind of shift the direction of it, and then it's let me think of what I'm saying here. So we want to go like continually smaller, and end up kind of in a point. And then when you get so small, then you can just put some little curved lines and then into some dots. That is similar to like Indirella. And this part reminds me a little bit of that, or like Narwhal, that tangle. Some of the other ones, like even Zinger or Sprinkle, where you're putting these little caps on. And so it's just interesting. So it's a similar idea, and it's like that part I just for me, it's like I would like to, I don't know, have have this be a little bit more graduated, but at the same time, you know what, as we do in Zentangle, and then you're just going to continue it on each side here. But just like I was about to say, in Zentangle, it's like everything is all still okay. You see, and that kind of tucks in there. And then I want to go a little bit smaller. And I know in looking at Eni's step out, she gets, you know, more of a curve here. And it's one of those where it's like, you know what, you just get going and just go. And then when we add the shading, it's all amazing. And just like everything's Zentangle, it's all fine in the end. This is the long one. So that's something just to be also aware of is, you know what, and I don't have to, talking to myself here. Yeah, see, I could go like that. Yeah. And then some of these little bumps end up just, you know, a little bit too tall. But you know what, and even seeing now, it's like, you know what, this is not looking too bad. This is just one that, for me, is going to take a little bit more practice. And that's fine. We'll see, and I was liking, you know, kind of coming out of the same place here, and then at some point, kind of like this, where we're making it more like a little cap. And I even think with some of those other ones, it took me a little bit of time to, although this one is turning out a little bit more okay. And then, you know, as you play with it, then you can kind of get to where you can bend it a little bit more. And like I said, I personally, I need to work on making it a little bit more graduated, and that will make me happy with my results. But until then, I'm still pretty tickled with this. Now I'm going to put in that color in the inside, and actually mine didn't get too sloppy. Usually if I'm doing the tracing around even just a little bit, sometimes you get a lot of loose ends, and I like to look at that first and clean that up before I'm filling it in, especially because I would like to leave that little shine in there. So what I did, I put a little orb where I want that shine part to be, and then if you notice in hers, she left a little sliver open down there at the bottom, so kind of just opposite where the little where I left the little orb. Now you can do this also with a white jelly roll, but what the heck, if you're working on white, why not just use that and leave that empty like it is. All right, now for some shading. I'm putting some graphite where, as you see, on the lines going inside. I'm going to call it that. And we're going to start with that. All right. And then we're going to bring it out. Now, of course, you can, you know, the more graphite you add, the darker. I like to have that gradient. And this has at least enough room that I can pull it out enough to have some nice gradient. But you can get a really neat dramatic effect if you have some of that be a lot darker, especially right where it's going in. But you can play with that. I like to kind of start a little, I mean, depending, a little medium, and then I can add more if I feel like it. Unless I know, you know, that's something that, you know, like kind of, you know, I know the look that I'm wanting. I know about how much graphite to add. And see how that is, see how that looks, and now it's getting a little pillowy looking. And then I think what I'm going to add, because I kind of liked it, I'm just going to add some, just going on either side. Some of these things, especially if you have a lot of room, is kind of a safe bet. And then, you know, if you wanted it, like, I could even like pull a little bit more in here if I wanted to. But we'll just try this to start off with and go from there. And something I'm thinking as I'm doing this is I could have this be a little lighter than this, and then depending, because it looks like it's going to be about the same, I could just go back and make that a little bit darker. Also, you can play with, you know, how much it comes out into this center area. You have to have something of a natural tile color in there, so that way you'll get that pillowy look, and you'll have created the bend, if you will, that you want. Let's see. Yeah. And I, you know, when I say, oh, let's see, I'm looking in my camera, which is how I'm recording this, and which is hovering over what I'm doing, and so it's neat to take a look. And if and it's a nice thing to do because it gives you a little bit extra perspective. Now I think I am going to take my own advice here. I'm going to come back with a little bit more graphite in this area here. And I'm not going to bring it out a whole lot. Just a little bit so I don't have that line. Because I want to have a little bit more contrast there. Like I said, I don't want the line. I want it to be smoothed out, but not necessarily bringing it out this far. I have a gradient built already. This is just kind of like blending a little bit darker gradient in, as you can see. Yes, look at the difference that made. That's just amazing. And then, you know, kind of keeping that the little center orb just the same, and, you know, keeping that little white there, and then the little sliver on the other side makes it look like it's, you know, a shiny stone. Now that could have been a little bit bigger, but I'm still playing with it. So it seems like when I made a bigger center orb, then these spokes were a lot longer. So I'm gonna, you know, continue to play and find my medium ground, and, you know, what makes me happy. But I'm pretty pleased with this. I hope you enjoyed it. In the description section below, you'll find links to the Stepouts, also links to connect with me if you'd like to. I do both. I do online classes, so both paid and, well, I should use it the other way. They're free, and I have one a month that's a paid class. I also have a Tangle Addicts Club. If you're interested, helps. Not only do you get all of my paid content for free, it's something that I've well, you'll see the description on there. I started it not too long ago, still working out details, so it's at an exceptional deal until I, you know, get it together a lot more, and then the special deal will go away. All right, so check that out. Also, if you enjoyed the video, thumbs up is greatly appreciated. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, that's free, of course. Just click the subscribe button and then the notification bell next to it, so you can tell YouTube how you want to be notified, if you want to be notified at all. And with that, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Especially these tangles that cause me a little bit of challenge myself. I love sharing them, and you know, would love to hear your comments. And with that, I wish you happy tangling.